Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and every once in a while I'll stop and give a little kind of a lesson on maintaining your e-trike or your e-bike because it'll apply to some of those things too. And the last time I did it was a few months back, but I know I have some new subscribers, new viewers. In fact, I think in the last week I've gotten 2 comments on my videos. One person had just gotten their e-trike, and another one was waiting for it to get there in a couple of days. So I know there's new new viewers, and so I thought I'd just go over everything that I can think of that will help you maintain and take good care of your life and your e-trike. So let's start up here at the front. This thing right here, this is how I mount my 360 camera. It's a 1-inch diameter PVC pipe painted black. This is a headlight. I turn my headlight on every time I go for a ride because it's just one more thing besides the red flag and all that stuff. It's one more thing for people to notice. This morning I had 2 people turn in front of me when I had the right of way, and they just turned in front of me. Fortunately, I saw it coming, so I just slowed down and stopped. I always give the automobiles the right of way, so we won't get into that. Okay, so that's part, and then I got these racks, cargo racks they call them, because I like to use. I carry a lot of stuff just for fun, or if I'm going to. Another thing that's important is if you get your e-trike, get a mirror. You'll see, if you don't have one, you'll see how important they are. That mirror is is a lifesaver. Also, this I can't think of the word. Display, okay. It gets hot if I turn it on. Here in Arizona, if I leave it sitting in the sun like it is right now and then turn it on, things get up to over 200 degrees sitting in the sun. So if you have just left yours sitting in the sun, and if you want to use it and you want to make sure it's cooled off, put your hand on it and you'll feel the heat, and then when that hand feels comfortable, put this hand on it. And what you're doing is you're absorbing all the heat out of the display, and it'll get cooled down enough that you can turn it on. So that's what I've done since I burned out my first one and they replaced this one for free. I decided I didn't want to burn out anymore. So if I'm going to go for a ride, first of all, you want to leave it sitting in the shade, muscles, if you're in hot summer like this in Arizona. So anyway, that's important. All right. Now we'll get down here. By the way, my wife said I should have washed my bike, my trike. But we'll get down here, and there's not a whole lot I can say about that. But the seat is, I've got a couple of videos on. If you go search my YouTube channel up at the top, click on search or whatever it says. Anyway, you'll find I've got some videos on seat maintenance. So I'm just going to give you a quick review. First of all, get that guy out of the way. In order to make it stay in place, I had so much trouble with, come on out of there. Come on, all the way. Let's go. I had so much trouble trying to keep this seat post from slowly sliding into the tube. Now, I never had that trouble before until I got this bike, trike. Anyway, this is an aluminum frame. Okay, all my other bikes have been steel frame. There's a big difference between steel and aluminum. I took a metallurgy course in college, and the professor was really good, and he pointed out the crystalline structure of steel is a square cube, all right? It changes shape and stuff when you heat it up, but it's basically a square. The crystalline structure of aluminum is a hexagonal, and it has a hole spot in the middle. And so that's what makes it. But if you've ever heard of anodized aluminum, that's where the dye goes when the anodized aluminum it goes in. So that's why it doesn't look painted. It just looks like a different color aluminum. Anyway, so what happens is with the hexagon, it can be it flexes, and aluminum is just basically more flexible than steel. So when you put this in there and you squeeze it as tight as you can, just the movement of the seat, believe it or not, those crystals allow that to move just enough that it's going to slip down. So what I did right here, I'll turn it so you can see it. I put a line right there. That's where this should come down to, okay? And then in order to make it so it would stay there, I took some rough sandpaper and I went like this with the rough sandpaper. And I kind of made what would be, you could call it tire treads all the way around there. And it hasn't slipped down since I did that. So that's that's how I stopped it. So if you're having trouble with that seat post staying in one place, just get some rough sandpaper and scratch it up right there. And then also, you can notice up here, the seat back, the backrest kept sliding down. And so what I did was I got some, you can see them right there. I got some hose clamps, small hose clamps, and put this where I want it, and then put the hose clamps under it. And so it's not slipping down anymore. So we'll go ahead and put this back in, I think. Come on, go in. Who wants to argue today? Oh, okay, we'll put that out. Yeah, that's all the way out. Okay. Come on, go. Okay. Oh, I don't know where to go. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll get it down to where I want it. And then I want to get it square. So I'll hold that right there. I want to get it square with the rack back here. So I look down through here and I get it all lined up. And then I tighten it up. So if you're having trouble with if you have an aluminum frame and you're having trouble with your electric trike, that's one of the solutions. And then finally, we'll get down here. This flag, that'll save your life too. So put a red, if you're going to be on the roads, put a red flag on it so that you'll be seen. Okay. Now these two guys I've had for years because I got them from my e-bikes. One went on the front and one went on the back. This one here, I found a wrench when I was riding this morning. It's a 17 millimeter wrench, but I don't think I'm going to be using that. But in here, this is my tool pouch. Now, these e-trikes and e-bikes that are coming from, they're probably manufactured in China, they all have metric fasteners that you have to use Allen wrenches for. That's what those are called. I guess they call them other names too. So I've got a set of Allen wrenches that I carry, and then I can stop anytime and adjust anything. One of the things I did was this handlebar. You'll notice it's tilted back a little bit. That pushes me back against the seat, and I don't ride along bent over like that. So you can make all kinds of adjustments, but you have to have, on all these bikes, you have to have an Allen wrench. And then one other thing, I gotta find it here. There we go. This is my my tire pump. When I first got my e-bikes, I wanted to make sure that if if my tire was low or started to leak or something, I'd have a pump. So I bought a couple of hand pumps, and it was like, I'm too old for this. So I got I won't get it all out, but anyway, I got this. First of all, I bought a cheap one, and it didn't last at all. So this one I get off of Amazon, and I'll put a link down in the description. This is about $40, and if anytime I need to change the pressure in my tire, I can use this. By the way, that brings me to the, I guess it's going to be about the final point. Also, you should carry a screwdriver and a pair of pliers, because they come in handy for a lot of things. And so I think that's about all I've got down there. Screwdriver and pair of pliers. And air pressure. That's what it. When these things come to you, they've got about 25, 30 pounds of air pressure in the tire. And that's fine if you're on really smooth roads. But if you're not going to be on smooth roads like where I ride, it gets kind of bumpy when you hit some of those bumps. So what I did on my first trike, my first bike, I experimented around with tire pressure. And the tire pressure doesn't have to be 30 pounds. That tire right there has about 15 pounds of pressure per square inch, okay? That means every square inch has 15 pounds pushing out against it. And so I ride it with that all the time. These back here have 11 to 12 pounds of pressure per square inch. So when you figure all the square inches and everything, it's strong enough to hold you up. I ride it that way all the time, and it's okay. Some people say, oh, don't do that, it's dangerous. I haven't found it to be dangerous yet. I've been doing this for 4 years now with my e-bikes and my E-Trike. So if you let some air out, it'll give you a little more soft ride, and you can even let more out if you want. Just don't let the tire begin to bulge where it's hitting the ground. That would not be good. So, okay. So I don't know if I've covered everything. You can leave comments and ask questions, because if I miss something that you want to learn about, well then put a comment in. I appreciate hearing from folks through their comments. So I'll be answering every one of them. All right. So anyway, that's E-Trike maintenance in a nutshell, from a nutshell. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and God bless.